Coming up on this week's edition of the Sports Desk, the Saxons of North High bounce back in a big way on the high school gridiron. Danielle Miskell has that story. We'll check in with Veronica Kobos, who has the results from North versus West in girls high school volleyball. Plus, Anthony Scott will have a report on the El Camino College men's and women's soccer teams. All this and so much more. Get ready, Torrance. The Sports Desk begins right now. Welcome, everyone, to the only sports show designed with the Torrance sports fan in mind. This is the Sports Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, AJ Vittone, and we'll get to our top stories in just a second. But first, don't forget to interact with us on social media. Remember to share your videos, photos, and story ideas. And remember to use the hashtag #TheSportsDeskTV. Hit us up and let us know what's going on, and we'll get you on the show. I promise. Much like the Thrilla in Manila, the Thrilla in Mission Viejo lived up to its hype. I'm speaking, of course, about the recent football game between El Camino College and Saddleback. After all, it was being billed as a heavyweight fight, a battle of two undefeated top 5 teams. El Camino, ranked 5th in the state, visiting the Snake Pit in Mission Viejo to battle the second-ranked Gauchos of Saddleback. Somebody's O just had to go. And right here, end of the first, Saddleback up 7. Cam Humphrey tries to run it, but he is lunch meat, sacked by Sean Richard and Luis Aguiar. And now it's a 3rd and 25 situation for Saddleback. They led 21-14 after 1. Cole Clayman here, handing the bacon to Okalani. Tafahima Langi, touchdown Warriors. El Camino takes the lead, 28-21 in the second quarter. 8:08 left in the game. Elko up 45-41. The fake punt attempt backfires for Saddleback, but the Gauchos would get the lead back and win a thriller, 48-45. These two teams traded blows like a heavyweight fight. Neither team led by more than 7 points at any time during this game. It was truly a back-and-forth slugfest. Quarterback Cole Clayman was 18 for 23 for 360 yards and 4 touchdowns. Damian Bernard finished with 3 receptions, all for touchdowns, and 153 yards. For the 4th straight game, the Warriors racked up multiple interceptions with 2 picks in this one. Warriors are now 3-1 on the season. Next up for Elko, they hit the road again to battle Bakersfield. All right, to high school football now, and according to North Saxon's QB, Sean Sigala, it's games like these that can define a season. Coming off a loss last week, the Saxons found themselves back at home sporting a 2-2 record. Their opponents, Morningside, were also looking to bounce back from a loss. The Monarchs paid a visit to North High Stadium, and that's where Sports Desk reporter Danielle Miskell was, and she files this report.
After losing last week to Juggernaut Culver City, the North High Saxons were in dire need of a win. Tonight, their confidence was restored as they got off to a fast start. The Saxons racked up W's against Banning and Bishop Montgomery and had 1 loss against Aliso Miguel until they played the Centaurs, who shut them down 42-7, bringing their record 2-2.
Yeah, losses are not so much fun. Definitely, we played well at times. Special teams, we've got a lot to work on, but our defense was really solid tonight.
And tonight, the Saxons were able to jump above 500. Their offense would bounce back and waste no time putting points up on the board against the Monarchs, scoring 3 touchdowns in the first half of the game en route to a 21-7 victory. And according to senior quarterback Sean Sigala, it was very important for his team to jump on those Centaurs early.
I mean, we definitely wanted to put more points on the board, but a win's a win, and, we'll take it. Especially after last week, we're a really scrappy team. We have a chip on our shoulder, so this is the type of season, that makes or breaks you. It defines you.
We ran the ball really nicely. Our offensive line picked up blitzes, and just the guys, whoever was running the ball, was running really hard, and had success that way.
Well, our coaches came up with a good game plan, and it's our job to execute. The offensive line played great, the running backs played great, the wide receivers played great, and as a team, I feel like we really were connecting, and, we needed a bounce back week, and I think the coaches put us in a position to get it, and we did.
Next, North High will face their huge rival West. Last season, the Warriors beat the Saxons 14-10. The Saxons now have a bye week to their advantage to prepare for the big game.
Well, league starts, so we have a bye, and we need to get healthy and be ready to go, and then hopefully make a run at a league title.
you know, we have a bye week, but it's 2 weeks to prepare for West. And, you know, our coaches are going to put us in good positions. We're going to execute, and God willing, we get the win.
For these senior Saxons, the game against West has been long anticipated. The players grew up watching the rivalry games together, and now they get to face their rivals side by side for one last time.
This is my senior year. I've seen North versus West games, you know, and growing up, and it's definitely something that, you know, we all look forward to, and it's not taken lightly. I mean, it's a blessing, you know, to come out here with these guys. You know, I've waited 3 years, and you know, I've really wanted to play with my class, you know, for a long time, and they're such great kids. You know, we have a lot of great people on this team, and a lot of great coaches, and it's really a blessing to come out here with my brothers and play every down.
And the Band of Brothers will meet the Warriors of West Friday, October 6th for what we hope to be a memorable game. Reporting from the North High Saxon Stadium, I'm Danielle Miskell for the Sports Desk.
Danielle, thank you. There you have it. North wins by the final of 21-7. Sean Sigala was 7 for 12 with 107 yards, and he also added a touchdown. Saeed Galloway finished with 151 yards on 8 carries and 2 touchdowns. Saxons are now 3-2 on the season. Next up, as Danielle said, it's the rivalry game with West High. Should be a dandy. Following a tough loss on the road, the Spartans found themselves back at the friendly confines of South High Stadium. They were hoping a little home cooking would do them some good. After all, the Spartans are still in search of their first win of the season. The Vikings of Santa Monica High School are standing in their way. Vikings up 7-0, 3rd and goal Santa Monica, and they weren't done, that's for sure. They prepare to strike again. Santa Monica QB Brian Stewart hands the ball to senior running back Tony Dancy, who barrels in for the quick 6. And then soon to follow here, kicker Edgar Rubalcaba sends it through the uprights for the point after. Vikings lead 14-0 with 2:30 to go in the first. Now we move on to 9:30 to go in the second. Drew Nash hands off to senior running back Samson Correa. He gets drilled by Philip Lopez. That's a safety right there. The score is now 16-zip Vikings. And then 4:30 left in the second. Javin Fish picking up the sack right there for South. One of the better defensive plays, but the Vikings never look back. They win 26-0. With the loss, the Spartans fall to 0-4 on the season. Next up for the Spartans, they'll be back at home to entertain El Segundo. Elsewhere in high school football, the Tartars fall to El Segundo, 41-10. Torrance rushed for 195 yards. In this one, Kyle Sell scored the lone touchdown, but it wasn't enough. Tartars fall to 1-3 on the season. Next up, the team will travel to Lawndale. West lost on the road to Miracosta by the final of 35-6. Warriors scored first with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter, but then it was all Miracosta from there. West falls to 1-3 on the season. Next up for the Warriors, they return home to host Carson. And lastly, Bishop Montgomery lost a squeaker at home to Mary Star by the final of 28-27. Junior Matthew Origel finished with 176 yards on 6 carries. The Knights are now 0-4 on the season. Next up for the Knights, they take on St. Genevieve at LA Valley College. All right, we're going to take a quick time out here on the Sports Desk, but whatever you do, don't go anywhere because you won't want to miss this. Coming up next, North takes on West in high school girls volleyball. Veronica Kobos will break that one down for us. West also battled Bishop Montgomery on the volleyball court. Plus, we'll take a trip to the tennis courts to see what happened between North and West. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Bro? Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Welcome back, everyone. Remember to follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Share your story ideas, post your photos and videos. We want to hear from you, Torrance. After all, this is your show, so be sure to get involved. All right, you might want to fasten your seatbelt for this one. A serious case of whiplash could result from watching this girls' high school volleyball match. The Tartars of Torrance, fresh off a win over El Segundo, were visiting the Knights of Bishop Montgomery, who were trying to rebound from a loss to Redondo Union. Tartars and Knights, I said buckle up. This is a wild one. Early on, Bishop Montgomery leads by a point. Knights serving. Watch this volley. It will lead to freshman sensation Dakota Quinlan with the thunderous kill. That was nasty. Tartars need to recover from that one. Knights up 2 in the first set. A couple of plays later, Tartars get back to business. This nice volley here ends up with Quinlan going for another kill, but she is stopped at the net by Ali Grelli. The Torrance senior gives the Tartars the first lead. Carolyn Vimoso serving now for Bishop. This first set went back and forth like a heavyweight title, and, well, Ali Grelli right there is licensed to kill. And once again, the score is tied. The Tartars win a seesaw second set by the final of 25-23. Yet another nail-biter in the second set. This was a battle, folks. Rock'em, sock'em, robots. This time, it's going to be Brenna Starkley bringing the pain for the Knights. Kill or be killed. Knights go on top by 5. They win the third set 25-17, but it wouldn't last, though. Fourth set now. Tartars pulling away. Senior Elizabeth Truman sets up sophomore Evelyn DaCosta there. She drops the killy kill. Tartars up 20-7 in the fourth set. Torrance goes on to win this match by the final of 3-2. The Saxons of North High were trying to snap a 2-game losing skid. And how ironic they were visiting the Warriors of West High, who were also trying to snap a 2-game losing skid of their own. Someone's going to get back into the win column after this one, and Sports Desk reporter Veronica Kobos is here now to tell us exactly who that will be.
Hey AJ, I'm waiting the start of today's game against North and West High. North is currently 1-7 and West is 0-2. I got a chance to talk to West's head coach Bev, and she said she's expecting a very competitive and exciting game because she feels like North and West are at the same level of competitiveness.
It's been a rocky start for the Warriors this season, having more losses than wins. But the girls are staying optimistic and hoping to turn things around with the start of conference play. West High came out strong during the first 2 games, giving them a huge advantage and some room to breathe during the third. But this lead made them a little too relaxed and forced Coach Beverly to step in and say something to her players.
She told us to really pick up the energy because if you're a really deadbeat team, you won't be able to win.
The pep talk was definitely effective since West pushed through and was able to take the last game, winning 25-21.
I'm very glad that we won, and I'm really happy that I got to really switch up some lineups and try some new things. I think that this shows where we can improve, but it also shows that we do have the skill level to maybe win some more games and hopefully rank higher in league this time.
Hopefully this win gives West High the confidence that they need to move forward in conference and come out on top. For the Sports Desk, I'm Veronica Kobos.
Thank you, Veronica. After that victory, the Warriors of West High didn't have to travel too far for their next match, and that's because they were off to battle Bishop Montgomery, who, as you saw earlier, lost a tough one to Torrance. Warriors getting ready, both teams essentially wearing the same uniforms, or at least it looks that way. West is to the left of your screen, Bishop on the right. Knights lead by a point. Senior captain Carolyn Vimoso coming up right here for the Knights with an explosive kill. Knights on top by a deuce. Moments later, focus on the net area at the top of your screen. Watch this diving save by West junior Kayla Cheney. She's the one in white. She keeps the volley alive, and that would lead to Lauren Tham assisting Jocelyn LaCroix, who slams home the kill. West within 6 now. Same set. Knights answer right back. It's Brenna Starkley. She's going to be killing them softly with her song, killing them softly. Knights up 7. Bishop was just too strong in this one. Carolyn Vimoso, another thunderous kill coming up. Knights win the first set 25-16, and they'd win the next 2 25-16, 25-22 respectively, sweeping all 3 sets and winning by the final of 3-9. All right, elsewhere in girls volleyball, the Spartans won their 3rd straight match, defeating Chadwick on the road by the final 3-zip. And the Lions of Ambassador High bounced back from a loss and defeated Animo Leadership in 3 straight. And in college volleyball, the El Camino women's team ranked 5th in the state improved to 7-2 on the season with a 3-zip victory over Mount San Antonio. Jalen Motley led the way with 10 kills and 9 kills. All right, from one court to the other, let's head over to the tennis court now. That's where we'll find the North High Saxons entertaining the West High Warriors. Warriors and Saxons preparing for this one, and we begin with doubles competition with the number ones Tai Tonino and Shannon Shinozaki for the North Saxons, and then Richie Shetty and Nia Kobayashi from West High. Saxons would win this doubles match here by the final of 6-4. They would also go on to complete the sweep in doubles, winning all 3 matches against West. Now let's take a look at the singles competition. The number ones battling here. Emma Shaw Lassou for the Saxons taking on Brandy Wang for the Warriors. Emma Shaw serving here. This was a good back and forth, but West High's Brandy Wang would go on to win this match by the final of 6-4. Wang swept in singles, winning all 3 of her matches, 6-4, 7-5, 6-4. The first round of 6 sets between North and West were tied at 3-3, a dead even 28-28 in games, but West would go on to win by the final of 11-7. Okay, we're going to take one last pause, but I wouldn't go anywhere if I were you because you won't want to miss this. Still to come, the El Camino College women's soccer team played host to Santa Ana, while the men's team are entertaining Golden West. Anthony Scott will have stories from both when we return. You're watching the Sports Desk, and you should encourage your friends to watch too. We'll be right back.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now? I think it's good. Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. The El Camino men's soccer team are looking for their 4th straight victory in what would be their last game before they begin conference play. The Warriors would have their hands full going up against a Golden West team that averages more than 2 goals per game. They would definitely have their hands full in this one against Golden West. West up 1-0 now with 13 minutes to go in the game. Now check out freshman midfielder Ronaldo Escudero, who takes the pass, settles the ball, and fires a laser pass, Cesar Amezcua. And just like that, Warriors are trailing 2-0. That would be your score at the half. Second half now, the score is picking up right now. Scoring, excuse me. Gregory Nat is saved right there. His shot, but the ball is still on the doorstep. Big scrum ensues. Abraham Yunus right there gets credit for the goal. Warriors cut the lead with 1. Elko penalty, and look at that. Luis Sosa, the goalie in there. Wow, the big fella boots it right there with 20 minutes to play to put West up 4-1. Wow, El Camino kept fighting in this one. Great opportunity here with a penalty shot. The freshman Rene Escobar gets his first collegiate goal right there by blasting it past Sosa. So there we have it right there. Warriors by 2 with 10 minutes to go now. And Yushi Kato, nice deke move right there, wide open. But, of course, Sosa catches that one. And then Ernesto Sanchez, heads up, baby. He's got crazy hops. He read that cross perfectly. Warriors win streak ends at 3 as they fall to Golden West by the final 5-2. Conference play begins next week when the Warriors travel to Long Beach. All right, despite that loss, there are plenty of positives to focus on for the El Camino College men's soccer team. And there's one area in particular that has served as a bright spot for the Warriors this season. And that area is dominated by a bunch of youngsters. Sports Desk reporter Anthony Scott explains.
3 freshmen on defense, no problem, says the El Camino men's soccer team. The Warriors may have one of the youngest back lines in the country, but that hasn't stopped them from jumping out to a 4-2-1 start. The freshmen on the El Camino team will be an instrumental part to their success moving forward. The freshman trio of Cole Prince, Renee Escobar, and Shane Melnick came into the season ready to take on the challenge as first-year players.
I knew it was going to be a big step, but I was ready for it. The first game, obviously, I wasn't nervous as much. But I had butterflies in my stomach, but I was ready to play.
The transition from high school to college is always easier when you have friends joining the team with you.
Our right back, Shane Melnick, I actually played with him in high school, so we kind of have a chemistry there. So yeah, we're looking forward to the whole season.
Let's not forget about the veterans of the defense. Steven Vincent and Zach Franco have given great advice to the youngsters to make sure the El Camino defense does not miss a beat.
It's not being nervous on the field. It's just soccer. It's all it is. It's a sport.
Steven Vincent, actually, he's been a real help with the defense and just everybody in general. He's a real good leader.
Cole Prince and Shane Melnick are still adjusting to some of the differences between the high school and college games.
The physicality of the players in the game itself. You have to move the ball quicker. It's a tougher game.
It's faster paced, bigger people, you know. Everybody's more developed and everything, so it's just more official too.
There's no doubt that the El Camino freshman defenders have a critical role to this year's squad. But whether you're a freshman or sophomore, the goal is still the same, and that's to get
shutouts, you know.
To get more shutouts.
Keep shutouts and win games.
Reporting from Murdoch Stadium, I'm Anthony Scott for the Sports Desk.
Thank you, Anthony. The Elko women's soccer team returned home to Murdoch Stadium recently, and the Warriors were trying to end a 2-game losing skid. Sports Desk reporter Anthony Scott was there for this game as well against Santa Ana, and he files this report.
With only 1 win through their first 6 games, El Camino has not gotten off to the start it has hoped for. The Warriors' offense is desperately looking for answers as they have only scored 5 goals so far this year. Today, El Camino looks to right the ship as they welcome in Santa Ana College to Murdoch Stadium. The El Camino offense was firing on all cylinders Friday afternoon. 10 minutes into the game, freshman forward Robin Riggs sneaks one in near post to put the Warriors on top 1-0. Then just 6 minutes later, Catherine Wilson sends in a great cross that finds Maddie Simonis, who heads it off the post and in. The El Camino offense was spectacular on Friday under their new formation.
We changed up our formation a little bit from a 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2, and obviously that proved to, do well and do wonders for us.
Trailing 2-0 early, the Dons of Santa Ana were in attack mode, but they could not break through. The Dons put 10 shots on net, but all of them were handled easily by El Camino freshman goalkeeper Kelly Gallagher. Then with 15 minutes left, Robin Riggs is one-on-one with the goalie, and that's just too easy. She puts the game away with her second goal of the contest as El Camino wins it 3-0.
I am always looking for diagonal runs and everything, so when I saw those balls, I was like, okay, this is it. I've got to do this now. I've got to score for the team.
The offense exploded today. It's kind of like I said, what we've been waiting for. We had a really good week of practice. This was our only game this week. Trained really hard the last couple days. Like I said, got some players in there together that we wanted to kind of see what they could do, and they really just, from the get-go, played off each other and played well.
We had a little rough start at the beginning and everything of the season, and I feel like this is really going to push our team. And yeah, we're pretty stoked to keep on going.
The El Camino offense exploded today for 3 goals against Santa Ana on their way to a 3-0 victory. This was a huge win for the Warriors as they move into conference play next week when they take on Long Beach. Reporting from Murdoch Stadium, I'm Anthony Scott for the Sports Desk.
Thank you, Anthony. Great job. Well, that does it for this week's edition of the Sports Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your support. My name is A.J. Vittone, and I've seen, heard, and said enough for 1 week. We'll continue this conversation again next week, I promise. Until then, don't forget to follow the Sports Desk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And remember, you can email us as well. We'd love to hear from you. It's all the time we have, sports fans. We'll catch you next time right here on the Sports Desk.